Hello everybody, Richard Urban Warlock here. I'm going to do a psychic reading. I'm using the pesky purple Peril deck, which has now been renamed the Cheese Sandwich deck. It's a bit of an in-joke. Winky, winky, winky. I have got some eye drops now as well. I've got some medicated ones because it's not been getting any better. So hopefully that should clear up so soon. Right, so yeah, it's going to be a psychic reading. It's going to be more like what you see on here, where I'm shuffling the cards and stuff's coming out, but I'm not going to be quite as hyperactive with them as some of the other readers. If you do want a psychic reading, do offer those. Face-to-face phone video chat available. 30 minutes, £30. Yeah. Right. So the first thing that's been coming to my mind is I keep getting something about the road less travelled. It's time to take the road less travelled. And then I was getting the thing about that phrase about the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and again and expecting different results. It feels very much like for this collective, there's drive and passion there to make a change. There's drive and passion there to do, to make a success of yourself, but you keep falling into the same pitfalls. Okay, you keep falling into the same traps. Now it's funny because I was just saying to a friend before I started doing my content, I was saying, I've got to do some content, and it gets a little bit, when you're doing the same type of readings over and over and over again. Now, I could continue to keep doing that, or I could throw something new in, you know what I mean? Different area. Because being a reader on TikTok, the masses do want the love readings, don't get me wrong, but at some point, it's good to do a career one, or I often do awakening readings and stuff like that. And you become a little bit stagnant, and sometimes you just have to kind of push yourself out of that kind of rut and that routine. I'm being told, whoever this is for, you have a lot to offer. You have a lot to offer, but you've got to stop being so rigid, okay? There's too much rigidity, okay? It's got a classic thing of, a lot of people in the community that I'm in, spirituality is supposed to be free-flowing. Spirituality isn't supposed to have like these strict rules and regiments like religion does, but it's become that way because people have allowed it to become that way, because they get into this headspace of, oh, such and such says this, Dolores Cannon says this, that must be right, blah, blah, fucking blah. No, form your own ideas, form your own opinions, believe what you want to believe, choose what you want to choose, and don't be afraid to step out of the box. Some things won't work, some things will, but unless you test it, unless you kind of get out of that rigidity, nothing's going to change, and it's going to be the same results over and over and over again. Okay. I'm being told to allow yourself some peace to reassess and rethink things. I've got any cards coming out yet. Just trying to change it. Oh, how bizarre. So my deck's really mixed up. Right, yeah. We got the death card. Okay, so death card is rebirth. It's a positive card. It means shedding old skin, stepping into a new version of ourselves. Okay. Yeah, it kind of feels like you need a death card moment, to be honest with you. It feels like, now normally if I was strictly doing a tarot reading, I'd be saying it needs to be in the reverse position to do self-imposed one. Sorry, I was shuffling and I've got like, how many have we got there? Four cards that were the wrong way round. So I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so we've got the death card, the moon card, which for me talks about the unknowns. It kind of feels like you're looking for answers in something. Now normally I'd be saying it's not ready to be revealed yet, but I kind of want to go that you're looking for answers in the wrong places. You're overthinking things. Your sun card life is there, your sun card moment is there, the most positive card in the deck. You need to do some reflection in regard to your strengths, okay? Because at the moment it feels like, ironically, you're playing to your weaknesses, as daft as that sounds. And again, it comes from this rigidity. It comes from this, oh, I can't do that because nobody else does that. I can't do that because that's not the structure that I'm aware of. And sometimes we have to break the mold. You know what I mean? In whatever way it is, you know what I mean? If you do something different and you push through with something different, not everybody's going to like it. It's not going to be for everybody. It might be a bit niche. I'm a very niche reader, and some people might say, oh yeah, but there's those readers like you on TikTok who are quite out there. Well, there are, but Nobody reads like me because they don't have my life experience. Okay, on the event circuit and within the community, there ain't nobody like me. And there isn't, you know what I mean? You can say, well, you know, you get some people who are a bit witchy and they read. Well, yeah, you do, but I'm split down the middle. I'm the bridge between the two. I'm not afraid to push forwards with that. Okay. Whoever this reading is for, it's time to start pushing forwards in the direction that you want. Not what you think people want, but what you want. Because if you can do that, you can then find your authenticity. Okay, and I was speaking to a friend last night, and she's on the fluffy side of things, and she is. However, on occasion, she gets frustrated and she has these Facebook rants. And I said to her, do it. You can do it. Because by doing that, you're showing you're showing that you're a human being. And you can be fluffy, don't get me wrong. Like I say, I don't have a problem with people who are fluffy. It's just that they, you know, there are some out there that I've experienced that have worn it as a mask. I said, do it, because that shows your authenticity. There's too many people, especially in the community and the world that I live in, where they constantly feel like they have to be on this pedestal. They constantly feel like they have to be wearing this mask of, oh yes, I'm so high vibrational all the fucking time, blah, 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 blah. And people can see that they're not. So if you could, you know, I said to her, so don't force it. Don't, you know, deliberately do videos where you're popping off at things. But if you feel called to have a rant and a rave, do it. Because it will show that you're a human being. It will show that you've got authenticity, and that will pull people in. And I kind of feel that this is a little bit like with wherever this is going and whoever this is for. I don't want to say you're not a genuine person, but I want to say that you're putting too much pressure on yourself to stick to a certain rigidity, a certain way of being, a certain way of acting, because first off, you're giving too much of a shit about what everybody else thinks of you. Second of all, there seems to be some kind of fear about breaking some kind of mold, and it's time to move away from that. I feel like there needs to be a little bit of self-reflection in regard to who you are and what you do, and start pulling on those strengths. You know, again, there's nothing wrong with occasionally talking about your mistakes. There's nothing wrong with occasionally having a bit of a rant and a rave, because that, you know, sometimes as well, as daft as it sounds, that will kind of open up new paths and new ways of thinking. Because when we bottle stuff up, that can, in itself, can become toxic, because it's like getting a can of pop and shaking it and not having a pressure valve on there. At some point, if you don't let the pressure out, it's gonna pop, basically. I'm being told to tell you to keep the faith in who you are. Don't change who you are, but how you express yourself. Okay, it's time to change how you express yourself. Okay, there are no right and wrong answers. We all have different paths. Believe and trust in yours, but open up more in an honest way. Open up more in an honest way. Be genuine to who you are. Stop worrying about what other people think. Okay, it's time for you to shine, but you have to do it in your own way. Okay, stop comparing, stop contrasting. Find what works for you, but again, take a bit of a step back first. Reassess. Okay, reassess the situation. I'm going to leave it there because I'm coming up to 10 minutes. So yeah, private readings available. Just hit me up if you're interested. Right. Anyway, ta-ta for now.